Hello everyone, welcome back, and today we are doing a mock draft, the first one of the 2019 NFL Draft, and I will be doing many of them in the weeks to come, especially during April, during draft month. But we are starting off with the Arizona Cardinals, who currently have the number one pick, which I expect to see them move by draft day. I don't expect to see them take a number one pick and not move it with the talent they need. They need offense talent, and I don't think there's offense guy that you can take number one overall. I think you have to go defense. And if we're sitting here right now, I'm going to have them take Quinnen Williams. And I know you're saying there's Bosa and Allen, two pass rushers. Well, Chandler Jones is still a pretty good player. And they have been able to generate pass rush in years past. I expect to see them do that again with a 3-4 defense. And I want to see them shore up their nose tackle position with Williams. And Williams has good size for the position and possesses a raw combination of suddenness, strength, and football intelligence. He moved up and down the line of scrimmage in Alabama's defense and was effective at every spot. As a pass rusher, he explodes off the ball, maintains leverage, and pushes his opponent into the lap of the quarterback. He also uses a violent club/swim move. Williams is constantly double teamed, but he still finds a way to generate pressures and sacks. Against the run, he plays with a low pad level, locks his hands inside, and violently sheds blocks to pursue the ball carrier. Overall, this is a dominant player who's capable of emerging as a premier interior defense lineman very early in his NFL career. Now, the Cardinals need a lot of players. They need talent. They need young talent in their offense. Like I said, I expect them to move the pick, but until then, I'm going to have them take Williams. And here are some videos explaining why. And with the second overall pick, the San Francisco 49ers select Josh Allen, edge rusher, Kentucky. Now, the reason I went with Josh Allen is because I think the Niners need a pass rush. I could also see them trading down or just possibly just taking him. Devin White here. They need a linebacker after getting rid of Foster. But I like Allen's ability. He can play linebacker, but I prefer to see him in a 4-3 and edge rusher, DN slot. Now, here's what I have on him. Allen is a tall, long edge player with tremendous agility, versatility, and production. As a pass rusher, he wins with speed, bend in a nifty inside counter move. He doesn't possess a lot of power, but makes up for it with Gumby-like flexibility at the top of his rush against run. He uses his length to set the edge, and he's a blur closing from the backside. Allen is a huge asset in coverage, providing the athletic ability to mirror backs and tight ends all over the field. Overall, the Kentucky product possesses an ideal skill set for today's game. He can run, rush, and cover. He's overall a very good player. And if anyone really wants to see some game footage of him, look up the Florida Gators game. He was tremendous in there. And that was the first time I saw him. I said, this dude's legit. Now, fitting out in San Francisco, I can definitely see him playing linebacker there if needed. But like I said, I'd much rather prefer to see him play D-end. And I have the Jets taking third overall, Nick Bosa, edge rusher, Ohio State. And here's what I have on him. Bosa has an ideal frame for a 4-3 D end, and he is consistently disruptive in every game I've studied. As a pass rusher, he can win with quickness, power, and a variety of hand moves. He often incorporates the same swipe, rip, flats move that his brother Joey has mastered. Nick can convert speed to power, and he also flashes some ability to slide inside and rush over the guard. He is stout at the point of attack against the run, and he's quick to locate and pursue the football. There are some durability concerns after he underwent season-ending core and muscular surgery this past fall. Bosa isn't as big as his older brother, but I expect similar dominance and production at the NFL level. And the reason why I could see Bosa not going number 1 overall is because of core muscular surgery. It's because of that hernia, and it will affect some teams how they judge him because he's not as fresh in our minds as Quinnen Williams or Josh Allen is. But I still think he's a tremendous player and has great upside for the Jets, who could use a violent pass rusher to pair along with Williams. At 4th overall, I have the Raiders taking Montez Sweat, edge, Mississippi State. Sweat is a tall, long, and athletic defensive end. As a pass rusher, he relies on a quick get-off and his length to pop separate before bending around the edge to generate sacks. He doesn't show much snap power on contact, but he still finds ways to win. His effort is excellent. Against the run, he plays a little high and will get moved around by opposing tackles. He will improve once he learns to lower his pads. Sweat is a much better versus tight ends. He has the agility to drop into the flat in coverage overall. Sweat needs to get stronger, but his combinations of length, agility, and production makes him an easy sell in the draft room. Now, with Montez Sweat, the Raiders need somebody to replace Khalil Mack, and I'm not guaranteeing you Sweat is next Khalil Mack. I think he's got talent to potentially be, but so does everyone else. I like Sweat a lot, and I think he'd do a great job fitting with the Raiders. At 5th overall, I had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selecting Jonah Williams, offensive lineman, Alabama. And before we get into this, I would much rather prefer to see him play guard, and I'll get into that. Williams lined up at left tackle for the Tide, but I'm projecting him to guard at the next level. He has an outstanding feat in the pass game. He is quick, and he smoothly redirects for his counter moves. He plays with knee bend and keeps his hands in tight. His lack of length does show up on tape, and that is why I'd prefer to see him play inside. He is dominant in the run game. He runs his feet on contact and generates movement at the point of attack. He also effective working up to the second level. He takes proper angles and plays on his feet. I love his awareness and toughness. Overall, Williams is an excellent prospect, has a chance to be a Pro Bowl guard early in his career. And I do think he can play tackle, just not as great as I think he can play guard. I think he'll be a better overall player if the Bucs were to take him and slide him into guard. This is who I'd like to see the Cardinals take if they can get in that position to draft him. But overall, I think the Bucs could use protection for Jameis Winston as we saw last year. And this is why I have him going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And with the 6th overall pick, the New York Giants select Daniel Jones, quarterback out of Duke. And the reason why I'm going Daniel Jones, there are a lot of similarities there between him and Eli Manning, and I'm going to read off a lot of those similarities. Jones has outstanding size for the position at 6'5", 220. He is always under control and throws from a firm platform as a passer. He relies more on touch than power. He throws with anticipation underneath and puts plenty of loft on deep balls, dropping them in the buckets. He's more accurate than his stats, which suggest with career completion percentage of 59.9%. Jones suffered from a lot of drop passes at Duke. He's very athletic on design QB runs, but lacks urgency and consistently escape when pressured. He has shown the ability to read the full field, but was forced to hold the ball at times because his weapons failed to separate. He showed his toughness by playing through injuries this past fall. Overall, Jones lacks elite arm strength, but has a nice blend of size, toughness, and football smarts. And the reason why I like the Giants to take him, he reminds me a lot of an Eli Manning, Case Keenum hype read, and that's something Pat Shurmur succeeded with in Minnesota. Overall, I know there's going to be a lot of Dwayne Haskins rumors going there, but I like Jones more than Haskins currently, and I think it's going to stay that way for a bit. With the 7th overall selection, Jacksonville Jaguars take Dwayne Haskins, quarterback, Ohio State. And they need a new quarterback. Blake Bortles has not been the guy for them so far. Since they drafted him, he's not been what they expected. I think Haskins is a pure pocket passer with outstanding arm strength, poise, and production. He lacks ideal foot quicks in his setup, but he throws from a firm platform. He has a tight, compact stroke, and the ball jumps out of his hand. He can drive the football into tight windows and display excellent loft and touch on the deep ball. Haskins will get a little aggressive at times, but his overall decision-making has been solid. His biggest issue arises when he forced to move off his spot because he lacks the suddenness to create and get out of trouble. He's accurate on design rollouts to the right, but his accuracy is spotty on the opposite side. He's used sparingly on design QB runs, but I love his competitiveness and toughness as a ball carrier. See Maryland game where he logged 3 rushing scores. Overall, Haskins has necessary tools to win games from the pocket. At 8th overall, I had the Detroit Lions selecting Rashawn Gary, edge rusher, Michigan. And the reason why I have the Lions taking an edge rusher, besides many things, it looks like Ezekiel Ansah's out of Detroit. It looks like this was his final season there, so they need to replace him, and I think Rashawn Gary can do that. Mostly because Gary is a freak. He has a unique blend of size, speed, explosiveness, and power. Unfortunately, it doesn't always translate to production. As a pass rusher, he has a dynamic get-off and flashes the power to bowl through offense tackles with only one arm extended. However, he lacks complementary moves and stalls at the top of his rush far too often. Against the run, he destroys tight ends on the edge with pure strength and power. However, he will bury his head and fail to locate the football at times. His athleticism is on display in coverage where I've seen him run and mirror slot receivers. There are some concerns about his durability after he missed time with injuries. Overall, Gary is more of an athlete than a football player at this time, but his upside is off the charts and his effort is exceptional. Overall, I feel like he might be the best athlete this class has, and you kind of can't go wrong trying to get an athlete that could be a freak. We've seen many of these times worked out, and we've also seen them fail. If you get the one to work out, you're set at that position for a long time. With the 9th overall pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, I have the Buffalo Bills selecting Noah Fant, tight end, Iowa. Fant has a tall, athletic frame at 6'5", 241 pounds, and exceptional explosiveness. He moves around in the Iowa scheme, putting his hand in the dirt, splitting out wide, or lining in the wing. He explodes off the line of scrimmage and is a very fluid route runner. He creates lots of separation and tracks the ball easily over his shoulder. Fant isn't as effective when he's working underneath. He lacks polish and drops some easy balls. He also has a bad habit of unnecessarily jumping for the balls that are put on his frame. After the catch, he uses his speed to pull away from defenders. He is shield blocker in the run game, lacking tenacity and physicality in that department. Overall, Fant is a special athlete who is at his best working vertically. He has some shortcomings in other areas, but he'll be a big play producer right away for his drafting team. Now, I know this is a little higher than a lot of people have Fant going, but he reminds me a lot of O.J. Howard when I watch him. O.J. Howard's stock rose after the combine, and I expect to see the same for Noah Fant. With the 10th overall selection, the Denver Broncos select Devin White, linebacker, LSU. White has a thick, sturdy frame and possesses prototypical explosiveness and playmaking skills against the pass. He has the speed and agility to cover tight ends down the field, and he closes space in a hurry when he's in zone coverage. He has timing and burst as a blitzer. He wins the majority of his one-on-ones versus running backs in pass protection. Against the run, White brings sideline-to-sideline range, but he will get stuck on blocks once engaged. He has a good but not great instincts to key read. However, even when he's half count late, he makes up for it with his play speed. He is an outstanding chest-up tackler overall. White has what teams are looking for at the position: the ability to run, cover, and blitz. I overall think Denver has a lot of issues they need to fix, and it's not going to be done through this draft. They need to get the right quarterback. They need to get some offensive line. But their defense isn't as it once was. I think you had Devin White with Von Miller and Bradley Chubb. You will immediately improve it, and you can let those two kind of do what they do best, and that's rush the quarterback and have Devin White drop back. He's a very talented player. I think he would do great in Denver.